So you want to increase your testosterone, you want to be a high testosterone young man, right? Right. Before we get into it, the prerequisite, the precursor before we answer this question is another question, is why? Why do you want to be a high testosterone young man? So odds are because you don't like your current situation, your current identity. Because your current identity is this low testosterone young man, right? This guy's identity consists of low T, you think you have low T, and that falls under like you have more anxiety, you build muscle slowly or little muscles because oh, big guys are stronger, and basically big guys are stronger and they're more masculine. So yeah, you think you're not masculine, or on the flip side, that'd be you think you're too feminine, right? Not masculine, too feminine, little muscle mass. You're study your words, you're uncourageous, and all of that. That's probably why. And this is all derived from pain. These all give you pain, doesn't it? Gives you a lot of pain. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to be, we want to be this guy. Well, he's going to look the same, but I'm just labeling him as high T for high testosterone. You want to have high testosterone, and the characteristics that come with this dude, the traits of this man, high testosterone meaning that he is more, I guess you would say, aggressive. But I know we don't want to be aggressive in a bad way, like beating up people, but aggressive in a way that he takes action despite the influences of other people, despite what other people may think. And he's like, yeah, less anxious. That ties in with not caring about what other people think. He's not stuttering his words. He's not messing up when he wants to talk about his opinions type shit. He has, but also other things like more muscle, more masculine, and shit. That's the characteristics of this guy, right? Okay. So now that we labeled the different characteristics of each person, where we are right now, this low T, and where we want to be, high T. You can see there's a gap from your current situation, current identity, to this desired situation or desired identity, right? So the question we have here is, how can we bridge this gap? Okay, and I know I'm kind of going pretty slow, and we're like, Elijah, where are we going at with this? Just hear me out. So in order to bridge this gap between a low T person and a high T person, we have to close the gap of pain and suffering. Sorry, man, I just watched a Charlie Morgan video. That's why I'm feeling it right now. This gap is the pain and suffering you'd have to go through, the sacrifices. You'd have to sacrifice something to become this. that high T person, because odds are you don't have high testosterone right now. You don't have like that 750 plus testosterone right now, because you're not the type of person who has 700 who can have 750 plus testosterone. Like, Elijah, what is the type of person? You have to become the type of person who can have high testosterone. It's kind of like, well, let's emphasize on the sacrifices and shit first. So, the type of person who has high testosterone, right? He would have to he would have to do things that are different than the person who has low T. That's right. That's the only thing. Like, there has to be some difference between these two people, whether it be what they eat, what they how long they sleep, what they do in the day. Something is different between these two people, and you gotta figure out why, or what is the difference. What is the difference? And the difference is the pain that they're willing to go through, the sacrifices they have to take. And to put it into more specific context, one pain that makes or breaks the difference between a high testosterone person and a low testosterone person is what they eat, is their diet, right? So the low testosterone person, his diet consists of processed foods and shit like that. Processed foods, the popcorn and all of that. In order to become this person, a high T, he would have to sacrifice this. He's going to have to sacrifice processed food. He's going to have to sacrifice popcorn. He's going to have to sacrifice the cake. He's going to have to sacrifice and it's not even just the food in general. It's not just the food in general, right? It's also things that can lead to you eating like the junk food. Is you sacrificing going to birthday parties and shit like that, because odds are you don't have the willpower to not go to birthday parties or to not eat the cake at birthday parties. And even when you go to the birthday parties, you think you have the willpower to avoid it, you have people that push you to, oh, yo, Elijah, or yo, bro, let's go eat this fried chicken. Fried chicken, right? And in your mind, like, oh, it's fried chicken. It's fried chicken. It's not that bad. Chicken is meat. But you gotta understand that this fried food is cooked in canola oil and shit. Canola oil. And I know it's kind of getting too specific. I'm just saying that this canola, okay, wait, I didn't finish my point. Canola oil, that's very bad for your testosterone. This will lead you to have a decrease in testosterone. So you just need to see that you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot now. So like just sacrificing a certain food, well, indirectly, you're gonna have to sacrifice going to birthday parties, and that indirectly, you're going to have to. Well, this is actually meant for certain friends, because you got friends, you got family members that are pushing you to. Friends and family is pushing you to eat this certain shit, and you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. And it doesn't mean like, well, I put friends and family there, but it doesn't mean you gotta like get rid of your friends and family, but you just have to, it would lead you to spending less time with them, or doing things that they probably would not agree with, because you want to be a high T young man. And the high T young man has to make sacrifices. Those are the sacrifices he's gonna have to make. when it just comes to his diet. He's gonna have to just be okay. Be okay with eating just whole foods. He's gonna have to be okay with not eating anything in like vegetable oil. That basically means not going, because vegetable oil, if you guys don't even know, majority of the food in restaurants is cooked in vegetable oil, canola oil. The freak is the other oils? I have no idea. I just use butter. But yeah, he's gonna have to sacrifice that. And then that's just one thing. One thing. What's another thing that this low T guy has to sacrifice in order to become this guy? Sleep. Well, it's quite the opposite. He's gonna have to sacrifice things that hinder his sleep. He's gonna have to sacrifice what's some things that hinder his sleep. That means staying up at night, staying up. That means video games, because odds are you play video games at night. That messes with your sleep. Odds are you're scrolling on Instagram. Scrolling. You're gonna have to sacrifice that if you want to become a high testosterone young man. And so the main takeaway I just wanted to make with this video is that you cannot be or have high testosterone. You cannot have like 750 plus testosterone nanograms per deciliter of testosterone if you're not willing to make the sacrifices. There's always a gap. There's always a gap from where you are now, your current situation, to where you want to be. And this goes with everything. There's always a gap. It doesn't matter. So we just use the example of testosterone for now, but there's always a gap, and this gap can only be closed through sacrificing something in your current situation. Because odds are the only reason why you're not here yet, you're not like 750 plus nanograms of deciliter of testosterone, and you're like 200 right here. The only reason why you're not there is because you're not the type of person who has this yet. Like, yeah, Elijah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's simple to understand, but it's hard to do. It's like, are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to put in, to suffer what this guy has gone through in order to be where he's at? You know, are you willing to change your belief sets to odds are this guy's belief set is that he's always going to be anxious. I'm always anxious. His belief set revolves around anxiety. It revolves around I can't talk to people. It revolves around I'm not genetically gifted. Does that serve you? Do these beliefs, like believing that you have anxiety, believing that you are not genetically gifted, do they serve you? And if they don't, disregard them. Disregard the limiting beliefs that don't help you get to your desired result. So, like, I've never personally cared about genetics. Like, I never thought oh, genetics this, genetics that. If anything, when I started hitting the gym, even though I was really I look like that, honestly, I look like that. I was really skinny. Even though I look like that, I just told myself I had good genetics. I had good genetics. Why? Why did I tell myself that? Well, because if I told myself I had good genetics, by me working out, it benefited me. It benefited me to think that I had good genetics. So because I did that, I was able to build an amazing physique. But you guys gotta understand that the only reason why I was able to build this amazing physique is because I sacrificed this limiting belief. Like I got disregard people saying, no, Elijah, you'll only get big because of you'll always be skinny. You know, you're a twig. Your bones are gonna break when you go wrestling. Like you gotta just sacrifice the things that don't serve you. Right? Because that is the only difference. That's the only reason why you are not where you want to be. That's the only reason why you have not achieved your goal yet. You have not achieved your goal because you have not put in you have not become the person who can have this goal. I don't know how else to drill this in, but hopefully in the future we're drilling in much more with much more clarity. But you have to become the person to become the person who can. Become the person who can. You're the person. Are you the type of person who can have 750 nanograms per deciliter testosterone? What are you currently thinking? Like, what is your current beliefs on testosterone? Do you think that you can't compete with other people because you're lamer? You're not lamer, but you're lower. You have this beta mentality, or do you honestly? Are you like the most competitive person there is? Are you not? Well, you don't need to be the most competitive person, but like, are you the person that can? Like, do you sleep 9+ hours so you can get or 8+ hours so you can get so your body can create the testosterone that in your sleep? Do you eat the right types of food? Because if you don't, you're not the person that can have that. You're not the type of person that can have that. You have to be the type of person that can have your desired result. It all revolves around you and what your characteristics, beliefs, and skills are. If you're not the type of person that can, make yourself the type of person. Change. Basically, you have to make a change. There has to be some change in order for you to reach your desired result. I've said this, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but you must change, and that change requires you to go through pain, right? And I know that sounds like it sucks, but we all know that what sucks more than going through pain is staying in the same place. Is staying this person Saying this person, the exact same person, for 2 years. Saying the exact same person for 5 years. Saying the exact same person. That sucks much more than trying to change. So, moral of the story. Change the person you are. Change the person you are to the person who can. Change the person you are to the person who can. Can you have, in this video, are you the type of person that can have high testosterone? If not, change. There's things you gotta do, whether that be sleep, diet, exercise, lifestyle, whether that be like talking to people, competition, or what's that called? Avoiding, estrogenic shit. Okay? You could change something that would get you where you want to be. So, I'll see you guys later. Deuces.